grinding was worse in the prior year, which was 2K17, because they did, at least in 2K18 onwards, they give you a counter to upgrade each badge. In 2K17, it was just a certain get it type of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll get the next upgrade point. You know, that's how you got Hall of Fame. That's how you get your grand badge or your pro, whatever the fuck they're calling it now. Takeover shit, whatever. It's one of those things when it comes to grinding. At this point where we are with 2K22 coming out, where people are, the reason why they use the paywall is because, dog, we've been doing this for damn near over a decade, okay, at least close to a decade, right? Or that's 6 or 25 or whatever low number. Our characters is ass carries over every just try, and it's just like we say the same thing every fucking time, where we say, how am I a player and I'm this traveling into the league? Like, I ain't got no kind of skill set whatsoever. Like, I'm an outside player, but I can't threes right away. I'm a scorer, but I ain't athletic at all. Or I'm about as athletic as your casual guy at the fucking rec center. All right, I'm a rebounder. Ain't got no vertical. You know, I'm just 7 foot for no reason. Like, I got nothing about me. I'm just a 60 overall dude who's just in the fucking who's in the NBA. Or you like a number 1 draft pick, or you a high draft pick, but you still trash. You worse than the niggas who came after you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense. And dealing with that every year is monotony. Like, that it's weighing down on people. But that's not the core of the that's the core of the issue when it comes to grind. Okay. Mm-hmm. The biggest problem with 2K nowadays, at least I believe, what I have seen and speculated over the years, it's the simple fact that the community and the developers cannot accept the fact that they are just as much as part of the problem as the developers are. Right? They bitch and whine about every little thing, and then the devs literally sometimes either come out right out the gates with a game predicated around the core idealisms that everybody was talking about. They want a custom builder. They gave them this. They want free range with their builds. They gave them this. More pie charts. They gave them this. Niggas, more jump shots. They gave them this. More animations. They gave them this. A different core, a different look. You could argue they gave it to them, but at the same time, you can argue they did a little too much. But at the end of the day, the devs listened, but then it's like a thing of, dude, when does it become a thing where the devs need to stop listening and just make the goddamn game? Because it's obvious that the devs are trying to appease everybody, knowing damn well they can't. And when you got YouTubers who constantly keep bitching and whining about this and that, and the devs are listening to them and listen to the casual people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, all you're getting is a trash game year after year after year. They're giving you what you want, but then you bitch about it anyway. So at a certain point, just shut up and just let them make the damn game and accept it for what it is. That part I don't understand about people when it comes to 2K, because it's been like this the last several years, and it persists. Making wish lists, making this and that, dog. You're not helping. You're just not helping. I don't understand why it is that y'all can't see that. Y'all been doing this year after year after year. Just look at the track history. Look at the track list. Look at the transcript. It's right there. Look at all the YouTube videos of what y'all have done and look at what they've put together. They have tried. They have failed. It's not their idea. It's y'all idea. They're trying to make y'all ideas come into reality. They're trying to make it come true. Like a little kid wishing for something and someone tries to make it come true. Like a fucking magical creature of some sort. Mm-hmm. They tried, they failed. Just stop. Just stop and let them make their game. And that's all I'll say about it. Because it's dumb at this point. It's dumb.
But I feel like I can make it better. That's the only thing. Like I said, from a guy who's... I'm just saying, but when you think about it, coming from a guy who's actually a grinder and at the same time actually spent money to actually, on a game, I would try to make it to a point to where it'd be fair on both ends. But the thing about it is, it'll be different. So right now, it looks like it's the same. The thing about it is, it looks like it's going in the same direction as it's always been, and there's no. It's the same. It's like having pizza every day. You will get tired of having pizza every day, especially if you're having pepperoni every single day. Eventually, you will get tired of it. The way how I see it is, maybe it needs to change of pace. Like maybe you should have somebody who actually, take a different approach at it. Maybe, like I said, like what I said, that there is a paywall. The only problem is you can't put this character with that character. But the thing about it is, I will actually make it to a point to where you have to do certain objectives, not just on getting badges, but you have to do other things to actually get points to actually spend on badges. Or no, don't make it like that. You have to earn the badges. You make a character, he has to be online, then he has to be on, maybe there's a story mode. He has to be brought on both on and off the court, in the stadium or on the court. I can't get my fucking thoughts together. I'm trying to put it all together. But I'm just trying to say, like, maybe it needs a different change of pace. That's what I'm thinking. But then again, everybody wants to have different things going on. That's understandable. I don't think I said it correctly.
I think I get it. The only thing I have an issue with is just the fact that me personally, I would just like it if badges just weren't in the game anymore. That doesn't solve that doesn't solve everything wrong with it for me and bring me back to the game. It's just, if you got rid of the badges, period, and just made that not a thing anymore, I'd be fine with that. Or if I had to recommend something, go ahead.
Or have it to a point to where you can have badges, but you can't play other players with badges. Or you can have the opportunity to play with badges, but they don't affect your character to an extent to where you underperform, like your character doesn't even belong on the court. Is what you're trying to say?
No, what I'm trying to say is I just don't want them, period.
I mean,
I get where you're coming from. Like, if I was going to add to what you're saying, I would say just do it how they did in 2K14, whereas you just bought badges and then those badges, or 2K13 and I think 14, because in 2K13, and this I'm gonna bring a point up about this in a little bit, but in 2K13, what they did was you just purchased the badge. You didn't have to earn it. You just purchased that badge using the VC that you had, that you earned through other means, whether it be through playing games, whatever, etc. And there was no tiers to those badges, or at least I don't think there were. And they just gave you, like, say, like interceptor was a thing where you were able, it increased your ability to steal the ball in the passing lanes. It was like a 15 plus increase to your steal ability. So, I mean, like, it tells you what you were going to get, and you don't have to upgrade it. You just have to purchase it and then equip it. And you only could have like 4 or 3 badges. I was perfectly fine with that.
That sounds like that's where the problem started.
Yeah.
Now that you actually mention that, that's where the problem started right there. Because me personally, if you wanted to actually spend money for VC, all that money would have been for was just cosmetics. It wouldn't even have went to badges. They'll just be for clothes. Or better yet, if you are a guy, you're a prick, you got this VC, but guess what? You can't spend it. You gotta wait till there's DLC, and the DLC may not even come out.
Your game sounds like a pain in the ass to play.
Because you know the thing about it, I'm just saying, like, there'll be some kind of drawback. It'll be like a monkey's paw. Like, you can sit here, you can ask for this, but there'll be some kind of drawback because now it's at a point where it has to be fair. I'm all about being fair. I'm not gonna lie. Everything has to be fair. If I was actually play 2K, and examine it like you did, and I'll see certain things, and I'll say what's wrong with it. I'll get to a point where there should be a lot more injuries because some of these cats can't really do all that stuff. There have to be some injuries. Like, can a center actually do a Euro step like a point guard? I'm just saying, like a 7-foot dude and do all that Azul shit, and he don't snap his Achilles tendon. I'm just saying.
I mean, I
Expect
will actually.
Shaq to do some crazy ass dribbling skills. I'm just saying.
Well, no, but we have someone in the league in today's day and age under the name of Giannis Antetokounmpo on
I
the
heard of him.
Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, so he kind of negates that, and not to mention we have also someone named Joel Embiid who has occasionally hit a couple Euro steps as well. So they're getting more like what I'm trying to say is the NBA is kind of
Getting more diverse with everything.
They're adjusting, like the players that are coming in are tall as fuck, and also so everyone is basically a
point guard, pretty much. No, not a point guard, like a shooting guard, pretty much.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
they're basically some kind of mode of Kevin Durant.
So now it's to the point to where the league is starting to have no personalities. What you're saying? So now everybody has to be able to do what this character does. So now, see, that's the problem right there.
That's NBA 2K. That's what NBA 2K is basically in a nutshell. Now
see,
when it comes to my career.
That's the problem.
Where
see,
everybody's basically the same, but people bitch about not being like they want to be different, but they end up doing the same shit anyways at the end of the day.
See, in my eyes, if I was able to create, and like I said, if y'all hear me out, if I was to create or give 2K a whole different look, it'll be like 2K8. Everybody has special abilities. Because me and my eyes, they did it perfectly. Bronze, silver, gold. And you might have a platinum, depending on who that character is. The platinums will be more like legendary players, or they'll be like fucking all-stars. Hall of Famers will be golds. Those players will be silvers. And those ever so often players will be bronze. And sadly to say, I'm not trying to put nobody down, but if you're one of those players who you're just on the squad, you'll probably be a non-star. You'll just have a number on your player. There's no reason to identify you because you don't really do anything to actually bring people to the league. But like if you have, like I said, with platinum, you'll be like, I'll say like Kobe or LeBron James, or you may have a legendary player like Allen Iverson. So that'll be a platinum player. You know, he'll have these special abilities that other players don't have. Like for instance, Kobe. Huh?
I just want like keep your point where you're gonna go with it. I just want to throw something in there. They kind of do this already with my team. I don't know if you know about that or not, but they where they have things like Sapphire, like where they have these cards of how they play certain characters and shit, and it goes to like pink, diamond, like it gets real fucking convoluted.
That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. I mean, cards. Yeah, I do remember that because I remember watching Chris Smooth. I've been watching him a lot lately. I don't know why. It's just I miss him playing Call of Duty. I said I don't know how many times. I want this guy to go playing Call of Duty again because it was very enjoyable watching him play Call of Duty. But yeah, I mean that I actually understand because I have seen those videos. That shit, that right there, that's on the category of overkill, truthfully. But I mean, like, I would say do it more like 2K, like All Pro. Because it was basic. It wasn't really out. You know, you understood what every character did without having. But then again, didn't they have, like, different variations of it, too? Like different rankings of the same character?
Not in All Pro, I don't think, no.
I'm talking about in a 2K. Like, what is it?
My team?
Yeah. Did they have, like, different variations? Or, like, different ages?
You can have the same character. He could be like at a different point in his career. Like you can have Jordan at like pink diamond, and you can have Jordan at diamond, or you can have like gold LeBron. You can have diamond LeBron, or you can have pink diamond LeBron. Some shit like that.
See, that's overkill. That's on the line of unnecessary.
I mean, all their stats be 99 and everything anyway, so you basically getting the same fucking card.
Yeah, so see, that's unnecessary.
Same shit, different day.
That's unnecessary. Like I said, it'll be more like platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and non-stars. Because now it's at a point where every character has their special ability. Trying to do something that they're not used to doing could result in either injury or a turnover. Granted, you know, depending on what that actual character did in the league when they actually played, it'll be costly to do something that they don't normally do. So like I said, the way how I'm trying to put it is, for every strength, there should be a dramatic drawback from their special abilities. If they don't normally do that, there should be an extreme drawback from that. That's not something that they normally do. Like I said, at one point, I could probably see Kobe used to dunk when he was younger, but as he got older, he kind of veered away from it because, you know, after a while, your age catch up with you. So, you know, he really didn't dunk as much as, you know, as he used to. And then he lost a lot of muscle mass in the process too because just on shooting and just laying up the ball. He wanted guaranteed shots without any fuck ups, not throwing out a particular basketball player. Russell Westbrook, I'm looking at you. I seen them dunks, my brother. You need to. I used to love watching this cat. Now I'm at a point where it's kind of confusing.
What do you mean?
I take it back. No, he's a good dunker. I've seen him dunk the ball plenty of times. It's just seeing him just fuck up like that. It's kind of nerve wracking because you don't ever see him actually miss dunks. He's always high flying and, you know, slamming it down. He's always doing that, but to see him not, it's kind of baffling. Like me personally, there should be a penalty every time James Harden plays defense because he doesn't normally do it. Like I said, this is how I would actually make the game.
Your game is so fucking stupid. Just off of that alone, you get penalized every time he doesn't play defense.
Because he don't play defense. That's why I dial back for every single thing that player does not normally do. Look, James Harden don't play no damn defense.
I mean, but look, they argue that he's a decent post defender. So if he plays post defense, he get penalized for it. Like, that don't make sense. There's different levels to playing defense. It's not just perimeter defense.
Nah, just period. I've seen this cat.
So he does something.
If I see even a knee bend, his arm stretch out, that's a foul. Automatic. Because you know what? Majority of his points comes from him shooting threes or free throws. And most of the time, they're free throws. So now it's at a point to where in order to actually correct that, there should be fouls.
Shit.
The game is complicated, but if you actually, like I said, I'm making it to a point where it's fair. There's a drawback, yes, but the special abilities play a key role. You actually have to play the game a certain way. It's like playing checkers with chess pieces. It's confusing at first, but you'll get used to it after a while.
Will I? Will I just give up? I feel like I would just give up for that.
Because you gotta admit, that was funny. He'll get a penalty for every time. He'll get a foul for every time he plays defense. That's just fucked up.
Like defense is like literally 50% of the game, man.
He's like giving up points in the process.
Like, what punch just like out of bounds and just let the other nigga be open?
Or you just leave him down there by the other side of the net and just let him be. Cause that'd be, like I said, I'll make it, like I said, the thing about it, I will make the game fun. It's just, I don't want it to be focused on being serious all the time. Basketball, football, it can all be fun. It just has to quit being so serious. I mean, I've seen a lot of cats.
Serious enough, man.
It's too serious.
It's gone away. It's gone away from the simulation basketball to a degree. Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too serious.
I want it to be, man. It's just
I mean, yeah, but no, because now it's to the point where you lose sight of like the fun of it, the camaraderie, and everything else.
I get those two fucking features when I play it seriously. When I play simulation shit. When I play a game like fucking NBA Jam, I'm not fucking. I mean, it's cool, but like, where the fuck is like? Part of a challenge is the challenge, okay? I'm not competing for it to be easy. I need someone to make it difficult, okay? Alright, if a game becomes too easy, if it becomes too easy for too long, then I'm gonna lose interest. Alright, this is.
And this has been displayed on the Hall of Fame difficulty on, was it 2K19? Are you there? You dropped your controller?
Yeah.
Like, I had a feeling, like, wow.
I'm sorry. I dropped my controller.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
What the sakes? I wanted to trail back to a certain point because I said I was going to touch on it before we trailed off on that. When it comes to the badges, okay? Because you mentioned bronze, silver, gold, and Hall of Fame,
Platinum, yeah,
platinum, and all that shit. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but in the current games, because remember when I mentioned 2K13 with those badges, they told you a specific upgrade. In these newer games, when they have bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, they don't have any attributes that tell you exactly what these tiers do. It's just like this arbitrary percentage that only the devs have access to where they can manipulate however they choose to, based off of their RNG system in place. And this is a problem because, one, you have a lot of things about basketball that's RNG. When you shoot a ball, you don't really know if it's going to have the right spin or not. You look at it, you shoot a shot, and it'll be like, yo, that looks good. But then it'll clink off the back rim, or it hit the backboard and hit off the rim or some shit, like, or it'll be just short of going in the hoop. I mean, so you never really truly know. Now, granted, in a video game, there's some scripting in place. So basically, you shoot a shot. At this point, day and age, the scripting would be, if you didn't get a green, that is where the RNG is right in your face. You never really know. Is the RNG going to be in your favor? I.e., are you going to make the shot or miss the shot if you mistime the shot? In most cases, people argue that you should miss the shot because you didn't green it. Which this is where the skill gap comes into play. If you still have people making whites, as they call them, because you have greens, and then it's a full white bar or whatever the fuck it is, it turns green, and you should automatically make it because it's a perfect release type thing. Just that little context. But when you full white a shot, it's said that it's perceived that you should miss that shot because it's a skill gap, and people want skill gap. So when you try to input things like arbitrary percentages with badges, and you don't tell us specifically what they do, bronze could be a 5% increase, silver could be a 10% increase, gold could be a 15% increase, and Hall of Fame could be like a 20% increase to a particular to a particular attribute or set of attributes. Yet they don't give us that. Instead, they just be like, hey, you have a badge and it's all Hall of Fame. So, go out there and use that badge and, see how that works out for you. And it's like, we're supposed to be okay with that. People have been okay with that and nobody says anything about that. Why not? I don't understand why people don't complain about the fact that at one point you told us what these badges do, but nowadays you don't. Like, you just don't anymore. And it's like, you have people who sit here in the lab and they give you these jump shots, these jump shot videos. Hey, because people be sitting there in their comments, in YouTubers' comment section, talking about what jump shot should I use? What jump shot has the best green window or whatever the fuck? So then you have literally
that takes away the skill then.
It does. I mean, it does and it doesn't, because one, you still have to be able to time this jump shot, time the jump shots that they use, because they be using the jump shot on like the quickest motion, and you just have to get used to all that bullshit. But I don't use it regardless. But that's neither here nor there. They have a whole thing with 2K Lab. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying that if that's going to be the case, which jump shot should you use? That takes away from the skill then, because now it's to the point to where you're suggesting something. You can't go off what someone suggested, because that's what they're doing. If it was completely skill based, then that would mean that you would have to have a jump shot, not you intentionally, but the individual have a jump shot that they actually feel comfortable with, instead of asking which is the best jump shot. Because the thing about it is, me personally, I'll make it to a point to where you would miss it half the times. No one can actually make, even if you hit a green, that's only saying that you had a perfect release. sometimes you can fuck up on a shot and miraculously it will go in. That's how it is out when you're playing outside and you playing basketball. You have the wind effect. Sometimes that perfect release, the ball may shift probably 6 centimeters to the left. You get a brick. I mean, it happens. I mean, you really can't go off of that. But the thing about it is, you can mistime a shot because I have a nasty jumper. I can tell I don't get it. It's never gonna be perfect. I get it somehow, but it just happens. Sean Marion, why I keep bringing him up for it? He has a bizarre jumper. It's bizarre, but it goes in. All I'm trying to say is, when it comes down to it, it's not so much has to be skill based. Because I forget what that song was called. It was on the NFL. It was it broke it down into percentages of how the game actually played. 50% hard, everything else. But no. I mean, in the way how it is, no. And if you actually play 2K and you actually watch the players on TV and how they play, you can tell when they fuck up on a shot. They fucked up. Form was off. You could watch LeBron. LeBron had probably the most awkward three. He had an awkward shot because he would shoot the ball when he's coming down instead of shooting it at the top of his jump, which was bizarre because he mistimed his jump every time. It was a miss. He missed it every time. But as time went on, he got to the point where his 3-point shooting did get better as it progressed because he actually it took time. Not so much of trying to figure out what the next person's using, or that's like me making a character and trying to see what you're using so I could use it. That defeats the purpose of the game. I can't use your strats and everything else because that's how you play. There's no creativity on my end. So now to the point, and this is why there's a problem. I'm kind of against the whole YouTube thing because they showing what they're doing. Like Chris Smooth, I know he's trying to show what he's doing and everything else, but that's his thing. I can't sit there and make a character like him because I don't play like him. I don't have his dribble abilities. I don't have his knowledge of playing basketball. I can't play how he plays. That's two different styles. He's used to putting up 30 points with a character. I'll be lucky to get 5, truthfully, because there's such a big fucking gap. I got to learn the game how it works best for me to get where he's at. I can't play like him, even though I would love to, but no, there's a skill problem. That's just me being real about it. That's where the game is at right now, from what you're telling me. There's a skill problem.
That's what a lot of people say.
So yeah, that is a problem.
That's what a lot of people say when it comes to it. It's just like, there's a skill gap issue this and a skill gap issue that. I still fall back on the fact that 2K has an identity issue. I mean, they don't identify with anything. There's nothing like I wonder at a certain point in time if the devs would just like sit down at their table and just be like, what is it that we even want this game to be? Because I felt like it's not their game anymore. It's the community's game. The people who play it, and they don't like it, and the devs, who knows if they like it or not. They'll obviously say they do because they're the ones who made it. They're the ones who put in the time, the hours, and they're the ones who use the resources and all the money and all the other jazz to try to make the game. I'm not completely defending the devs whatsoever. I'm not giving the community 100% of the blame either. I just want to justify that. I personally think it's a 50-50 split. It's a 50% blame on the community and a 50% blame on the devs. But it's
what I would actually tell them if I could. I'll say, bring it back to basics. And I'm not gonna say go back all the way to basics because I'm pretty sure everybody pretty much got used.
Pixel days. Just go back to pixelated. Go back to fucking Atari or some shit.
Yeah, but I mean by go back to basics, I mean by go back to what put you guys on the map in the first place. Me personally, I would tell them to go ahead and go back to how they did it with 2K All Pro Football. Take that same formula, put it in the game. At this point, it's not so much of trying to, make it the best game ever, but just to see where it's at and how everything's going to go. If there's a lot of positive feedback on it, okay, cool. Now they're getting into something because now it's not so complex to where shit that really was just overkill. So now it's to the point to where work off of that and then see what happens. He was on the game the whole time and never said anything.
He left to go get some chicken.
He was listening. He was ear hustling the whole time. That's what it was. He just trying to see what the fuck we were talking about. Because after all, remember, you got to talk to somebody who's smarter. Remember? So now it's at the point to where he just wanted to see exactly what you're talking about. That's all that is. The headphones are off. The conversation was going through the speakers. He's just back there taking notes. That's all that was.
He's back there taking notes. Yeah, I agree. Or I disagree. Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, all I'm saying is just go off of that formula for the moment. Then after that, I will tell them to go ahead and just try to add something different. Don't do no satisfier. Don't do no player cards. Don't do none of that because that's kind of an issue. Badges, get rid of them because that's also a dramatic issue because that takes away from the game.
Oh, that shit extends the hell out of the grind.
That's I
extend that shit so fucking long, dude.
Or like I said, how I would do it personally, I'll keep the badges in there, but it'll be a lot more effective for those actually VC. If you spent VC, I make it to a point to where they're not as effective as it was for those actually grind. I will actually make it to a point to where the grinders actually got rewarded better.
Oh no, I want to make this clear too. You can't pay for badges. That's not a thing in the new games. You have to grind them.
Okay, so that's fair. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about no paying. So you can't use VC. Not VC.
You can't use VC for badges.
Or your own currency.
No.
Okay,
you
so
have to grind.
That's fair. Okay, because me personally, I was gonna make it to a point where it was impossible. I punish those who spent money on the game to get ahead.
How dare thee? I smite thee for spending thy money.
Yeah. I mean, I know I did it, but I didn't keep the money. I only did that shit. And I think, well, I got it on Grand Theft Auto. I spent the money. I did. But I didn't plan to keep it. I just wanted something to fuck around with real quick. Because, you was playing with me and everything else. This is just something, this is just throwaway money. I really didn't need. That was a tip, actually. That was tip money I spent.
That was tip money?
I mean, that was tip money. I didn't care for that, man.
My nigga's rolling like his ass.
I mean, that was tip money. That was, like I said, what I did, that was just something personal for Rockstar. So when I do my thing, like I said, I feel like I should be rewarded for getting away with illegal things. I should be, I should get a slap on the wrist. That's all I'm saying.
No context.
Huh?
With no context, I should be rewarded for getting away with illegal.
I'm just saying, I should be, I should get a slap on the wrist for doing illegal things because technically we're not supposed to be doing that. But I broke bread with Rockstar, so I feel like I should, have some kind of leverage or some kind of leniency dealt to me because I spent a ton of money.
Doesn't that kind of go back against what you were saying earlier about like punishing people for spending money?
But the thing about it, that wasn't to keep it though. It wasn't to keep. This character that I'm making now, I'm not spending no money. That was the whole.
Know if that's coming through the microphone.
What? I hear like some kind of brushing noise.
It's not me.
Is it my fan?
No. I mean, well, you got some shit going on in the background of your mic, but it's not that loud.
Hey, that's the fan.
Can you hear? Because my central fan just kind of kicked on automatically. Do you hear that in the background?
Nah. I mean, probably a little bit, but it's barely noticeable. Like I hear like some kind of, but that's minuscule. It's not as bad as mine, where I can't have no fan go on in my videos because I gotta actually talk louder.
It sound like you out there sprinting and shit. Yeah, though.
But yeah, that's all I was trying to say. But like I said, I would mod it to a point. Like I said, that's just me though. I make the game fun. It'll be complicated, but the thing about it is, there's a way to beat the game. You just gotta watch what you're doing.
Another thing that makes the grinding so bad is it's how you have to do it. In other words, you have My Career, which is your offline mode where you play against the NBA teams and stuff. You play through a story, and then you have My Park and shit. So you play Park online, Pro-Am online, the fuck is that shit called? Ante-Up, which is where you gamble VC, where you play against other people and shit. You basically play for money. If they increased the value, because there's like the value for the My Career, the offline mode, is like, it's not that high. It's really not that high, and that's where you would have to grind the most. That's where you can do your best grinding for the badges and stuff, for your attributes. And the reason for that is because my voice cracked. But the reason for that is because in My Career you can play 12-minute quarters, 12 4-minute quarters. That's like what, 30 minutes a game?
More than that.
Yeah, like 30.
That's like about more than an hour.
Sometimes you're not playing every minute. Like sometimes they sim you out. You're only playing one character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that'd be like probably a good 40 minutes.
Yeah, like 35, 40 minutes or so like this, around that time frame. And the thing about that is, after so long, because see, a lot of people skip My Career and they go straight to online, and they do that because My Career isn't fun. My Career is just tedious. Its tedium comes with the fact that I'm just playing against AI people. It don't feel realistic at all. I mentioned something before, like a long time ago, where I talked about how it would be nice if 2K would make the cover athletes, like, remind us why people are certain cover athletes. I kind of want something similar. I would love they would do something with My Career to where they made each team feel like they're their real life counterparts. In other words, you have Chris Paul play like Chris Paul, not just like any other NPC. You have LeBron James play like LeBron James, Kevin Durant play like Kevin Durant, Giannis play like Giannis, etc., etc. The list goes on. You know what I mean? You have Kyrie Irving. He has crazy handles. You know what I mean? Like, have this, like, he don't really break people down like that. He just spams dribble moves, and then eventually he just goes to the basket in a straight line, and then he'll get an advantage animation on you for no fucking reason, even if you guarded him. He didn't break your ankles or nothing. He didn't do nothing like crazy. He just did some dribble moves in one spot, and then he decided, all right, I'm gonna run to the basket and score. Like, that's annoying from a defensive perspective. They'd be like, yeah, like, before, when we were younger, we always used to say, like, a Kobe Bryant or somebody scored on us, we'd be like, damn, you know what, that is Kobe, though. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, it's like, dude, what is this nonsense? Like, what is this? Like, why can't My Career be funner than this? And it's partially because of the story, and it's partially because of the gameplay. I blame more so the gameplay because of the way the NPCs are scripted and how they move and how they work. The characters don't play like themselves. They don't play like I don't feel like I'm playing against LeBron. I don't feel like I'm playing against Kevin Durant. I feel like I'm playing against a fucking pixelated character who is an imposter. Like,
yeah, you're playing against a console.
I'm just playing against a system. That's it. I'm just
playing against the Matrix.
The same team with a different skin. That is it. They all play the same. Like, if I play against LeBron, I'm basically playing against Giannis. If I'm playing against Kevin or Kyrie Irving, I'm basically playing against Stephen fucking Curry. You know what I mean? They're basically the same character, just a different damn skin. It's copy and paste, man. And it's like, dude, people get tired of that shit, that repetition. And like, also another thing I wanted to bring up with what you were saying about um them going back to like the basics. That would be cool if like, because people have said the same thing about Call of Duty, that transition to like, you know, the jetpack and running on walls and all that shit, that high tech shit. And then people say, man, we're like, I want to go back to boots on the ground and stuff. It's cool and all, but dog, we've been there, we did that already. You know what I'm saying? We've been there and did that. I'm all for progression, and I'm all for going with what works, but don't just literally be like, okay, they want the basics, all right, let's just legitimately give them Call of Duty 4, or give them Call of Duty what I want. You know what I mean? When we're in like fucking 2022, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, we already did this. You're going to get bored with it. This is no different than it being a new game and you playing it throughout the year, and it's the only game you play. It's literally no different. It's just the context is a little bit different. That's it. It's just a little different. That so it's a head scratcher. It's a head scratcher because it just goes